All of the software developers in every space, in every vertical, are focused on making AI a fundamental part of their platform. And at the same time, the professionals within the industry are kind of awakening to the power and the possibilities that are AI, and everyone's feeling it. It really feels like this mass epiphany, this mass awakening. I remember in fall of 24 predicting that this is what was going to be the case in 25 and 26, and we are here. And I think it blends with some of the other shifts we've been having about different folks in the workforce and things like that, and they're coming together to really create this new thing, this new fleet industry that's almost coming out of the cocoon of the old fleet industry is how I would describe it. If they're truly at the top of the top, they've already embraced AI and they're using it to find true insight and to transform their fleet, like to get true business intelligence. That next tier, I would say, is extremely comfortable with leveraging data and have been doing so for some time now. They've gone beyond performance measurement, and they're driving insights, they're finding business intelligence, and they're looking for ways to transform their operation based on the insight that data gives. And I'd say that the best of the best are great at merging the nexus of using experience of the employees and the workers and the intuition and the know-how that has accumulated over 20, 30, 40 years with that data to come up with truly meaningful insight. You have groups who are still overly dependent on experience, those fleets still exist, and you have folks who have kind of jumped ahead, maybe because they don't have that technical background, they've come over from other industries, they're not comfortable or familiar with some of the basic fleet principles, and so they're so reliant on the data and they're doing so without context. I think the best of the best fleets have figured out how to merge these, and now, in the last few months, literally, are layering AI on top of that to make work go even faster and drive even deeper insights. I think people need to figure out how AI is going to impact the work that they're doing, that they have to do today, tomorrow, right? If you sit on, well, it's not going to impact me, I think a lot of folks expect AI to impact the white-collar workers, but they don't think it's going to solve the technician shortage, for example. I think they're wrong. We got robots in other parts of the world doing karate. I think once they program those robots with AI, they'll be able to change a tire just fine. So I think that element is certainly a big piece. But I want to also say, I think the oldies are still true. So, fleets struggle with replacement planning, and replacement planning solves so many of your issues. I was giving a talk the other day, and someone said, and I asked the question, what are you doing about your technician shortage? And they told me all the recruiting efforts into this, and it was great stuff. It was good. And then I asked, have you thought about replacing your assets more quickly? And it was like crickets, right? So replacement planning, getting that right is still the number one most important thing any fleet on the planet can do to mitigate their other issues. And then I'd say the second most important thing is getting their cost allocation and chargeback right. And this is still a struggle with the overwhelming majority of the industry. So the oldies are still in play here. The meaningful progress is AI. So now that's an age-old problem. I described two age-old problems. Now AI, in the past for many fleets, either they didn't have the resources or the in-house ability or the tech or the resource, and so they just put it off, right? Or they accepted where they lived. AI should fundamentally shift that, right? It should level the playing field in some ways between the smaller, less resource fleets and the larger, bigger fleets. There's no reason you can't solve that problem today. A little guidance, a little expertise, and some AI dripped in there, and I hope and optimistically expect that we're going to start solving these issues that have been lingering for many years. And again, all of the basics apply, and everyone wants great utilization and TCO and PM compliance. Think outside the box, right? How can AI help me solve those problems in ways that maybe I didn't think of before?